Hello and welcome to my channel. We have had an overwhelming time with so much information pouring in from Harry and Meghan just from the beginning of May until now. So today I want to sit back and look at their visit to Nigeria and analyze why it failed so miserably. Let's dive deeper into the issue in this video. Let's get started! The fact that Harry and Meghan failed at what they did is not too surprising to all of us. They have never succeeded in anything. Perhaps the difference lies in some of the reasons for their failures. After trying to analyze, research, and participate in a few discussions, I have found a few reasons why this duo's trip failed miserably. First, I believe that failure comes from too much media focusing on them. Well, maybe what I just said will confuse you, but it really does. The media is a double-edged sword for Harry and Meghan in this case. It is no different from the scythe of death. They reported a lot about the trip, but it was mentioned in a very offensive way. The media portrayed Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's tour of Nigeria positively, likening them to brave campaigners despite criticisms, mini-royal tour, etc. So right from when the trip was just a plan, many people criticized it when two people who always called for privacy appeared loudly everywhere, even pretending to be working royal families. If this was Sussex's idea of a modernized monarchy, it was undignified and cringeworthy. No wonder the wife couldn't cut it as a real royal and bolted for home. Oh, but where is home for Meghan now? Nigeria, I guess, as she said she'd come home. How patronizing. It never ceases to amaze me how many ways this couple can behave clueless, classless, and like a poorly written comedy sketch, no matter where they go or what they do and say. Harry and Meghan have disrespected the royal family, but they try to represent the royal family. It's hard to understand the behavior of these two people. The crowd did not support the purpose of the trip, but Meghan added fuel to the fire when she said she returned to her homeland to learn about her roots because she is 43% Nigerian. She claimed Nigerian heritage based on an unverified DNA test, which contradicts previous statements about her ancestry. Malta, you know. I don't believe that at all about Meghan's DNA test to prove her 43% Nigerian. I don't believe Meghan has done a DNA test at all. It's her own research. No way can Meghan be 43%. What about how she thought she was part Maltese a few years ago before she started after Harry? It took my friend a very long time to thoroughly research his family history, and he traced it from England to Scotland, France, and Germany, amongst others. It was a labor of love for him, and he enjoyed putting the evidence together. Meghan springs up with 43%, and as if by magic, it's done. It is just so pathetic of the mainstream media to take her word, with no evidence, and run it as fact. As for Meghan, she just changed her origin to fit her story. They have been proven as liars not once or twice, but multiple upon multiple times. They can't even get how they met, how they got engaged straight, changing that on multiple occasions. The two totally different stories about the so-called royal racist story on Oprah are what still get me when Meghan's version was totally different to Harry's version, yet Ampa, the closet orca, fascinatingly didn't pick up on the two other stories. They've lied so much that no one except for a small few believe anything they say. And when they come to Nigeria, they cannot be friendly with the people here. The people they take advantage of to burnish their names. Harry and Meghan faced no criticism for their lack of engagement with locals during the tour. Unlike previous instances with other royals, Harry and Meghan failed to fulfill their tour, focusing more on self-promotion rather than addressing important issues. First, I feel bad for Invictus. That's why they were invited in the first place, but Meghan has overshadowed everything as usual. The Invictus charity used to have noble intentions when Harry didn't get paid for his involvement with it. It was a part of his job. Now it has turned into a money-making circus. He is a traitor to his queen and country. The injured veterans served and sacrificed and were loyal to the colonel-in-chief and deserve a better patron. If Harry had 1 ounce of decency and genuinely cared about the veterans, he would give up his position as patron. I think it is very sad. Now, Harry will eventually learn that his jokes are not funny, and people are only laughing because of his royal status. What about Meghan? Continuously make every stage yours. She expressed her desire to inculcate the culture of her homeland with colorful clothes, but wore inappropriate dresses. Shockingly, Meghan wore such skimpy and expensive clothes in a majority Muslim country living in such difficult conditions. She was acting like a cheap celebrity, just making it all about herself. Her outfits and behavior were not respectful to the culture or the nation. It's embarrassing seeing someone like her use a troubled country for her own promotion. and they brought Meghan and Harry along to take photos of who is currently employed by Paramount. I doubt Netflix would be best pleased. Harry and Meghan are very rude to real Nigerians. After getting pictures and videos from pre-selected Nigerians and giving them PR value, the Sussex couple immediately forgot about the other poor Nigerians. How disgusting to ignore the real people of Nigeria behind the fence. Didn't even acknowledge them apart from a brief smile. From Harry. So does Meghan! She regards them all as despicable, repulsive, and beneath her, and that's why she completely ignores them. She's being paid $1 million allegedly, so if that's true, that's all she's interested in, along with some positive PR and people fawning over her. So did anyone hear the words Invictus Games while they were in Nigeria? No, it was nothing to do with Invictus. The only thing they tried to promote was themselves, and they were embarrassing. Did you see that they had to cut out half of the discussion she gave in her red dress because she spouted so much nonsense and was unable to answer any questions that the Nigerian broadcast was embarrassed to air it? What that pair did in Nigeria was disgraceful and undermined the British and Nigerian governments. Very dangerous. How legal was it to accept payment for their visit? Was the payment in any way a bribe to secure the Invictus Games? What is Harry's job in Invictus Games? And does his visit compromise his position, especially if he is part of the decision-making process of where Invictus Games is held? What is her status within Invictus Games? If she has no role, she must stay away from it and not be actively participating in any of it. I am sure they have broken many British and Nigerian protocols by doing what they did in Nigeria. I hope both governments look at this closely, the purpose of the visit, the itinerary, etc. We cannot have a rogue prince and his wife messing about on the world stage in this unseemly way, and something has got to be done now after this totally embarrassing mess. That is why decent people need to keep pointing out the lies. We are not fooled by this awful, duplicitous duo. If part of the media did a panorama-type secret investigation into these two and their lies and manipulation and revealed the truth about their marriage, pregnancies, children, where they live, their very nefarious links to some highly dubious companies and people, and the real story behind their staged visits like this one, the bullying, the grifting off charities like Invictus, her dodgy past life. Harry and Meghan have no respect for the customs and the culture of Nigeria at all. She wore a see-through backless dress to a private Muslim school on her first day, and continued with inappropriate outfits and behaviors throughout the 3 days. Harry doing a military inspection and asking the gentleman what he named his prosthetic leg was so apathetic and callous. They both looked high the entire time. I understand that the Nigerian defense minister invited Harry and Meghan to Nigeria to consider it as a host nation for future Invictus Games. In Nigeria, more than half the population lives below the poverty line. Sussex couple were in Nigeria to promote themselves as celebrities, and I doubt she will promote Nigerian products on her ARO site, but they may have been teeing up some other dark deals. They think that the Nigerian people can't see through this sham of a tour. Meghan Markle is unbelievably rude to the people she has met, more interested in having her photo taken than actually conversing, and more importantly, listening to the people she encounters. I can call this a visit that brings nothing but value. And I also want to mention one issue. On the 3rd of May, the U.S. charity regulator declared Archewell Foundation as delinquent, banned it from soliciting or disbursing charitable funds, and told its registration may be suspended or revoked. When Harry and Meghan went to Nigeria, they knew about the situation. So I'm curious about the $2 million check to support this country. But somehow it also shows the couple's hypocrisy. It is their inflated ego that destroys everything they come across. Whatever the reason, in the end, it's still because of Harry and Meghan's narcissism. We're not curious about it. That also brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.